Hello, friends. It's Spike Mike. Mike Baggetta is my guest tonight on Wisdom Sucks. I'm gonna ask Mike a couple of questions, and we're gonna discuss a couple things. And so the first thing that I'd like to ask you, Mike, is where has wisdom, or the lack thereof, at some point affected your life? If you want to tell a story or just give some advice or whatever, it's up to you.
Well, I think start off with a hard question. I think wisdom probably affects every aspect of my life, whether it's there or whether it's not. But I think most profoundly, and I think about this now as we kind of finish this tour that we're on, I just think about all the things I learned and the difference between kind of knowing something and then putting it into practice. And I don't know if that's any definition of wisdom, but one thing that I think Watt actually had a fortune cookie that said, I've got a message there, but it's something like, listening is to hear, but hearing is to know. It's totally not what it says, but it's the difference between listening and hearing. Listening means you can passively, hearing means you passively take something, but listening means you understand something. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and your question kind of makes me think about that too. You have knowledge where you learn something, and then you have wisdom where you're actually putting something into practice and making it kind of work for the betterment of your day or your task or maybe the betterment of society as a whole. So I tend to think of wisdom as a very lofty thing, and that it probably kind of weaves its web through our days where we don't really realize it, I think, if it's really working.
Sure. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's like having tools and leaving them sit there and don't do anything.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But you can take the tool and learn how to do many things with it.
Right.
That would kind of be like knowledge versus wisdom in my mind.
Yeah, very good, very good. And so, let's see, is there maybe a story in action where you didn't necessarily follow the wisdom that you knew, and you want to talk about the outcome? Or maybe it's wise to not even answer that.
I think there's plenty of times, thinking of specific, the point might be difficult right now, but I can think of plenty of instances where I feel like I know the right thing to do and I do something else.
Oh, you mean you're human?
You got me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. I mean, even like the most stupid thing, like, oh, I shouldn't eat this extra slice of pizza, I do it, right? Or just saying something to someone, you shouldn't say this thing to a person, but for whatever reason you feel like you have to. Things like that. I feel like wisdom benefits me knowing what the right choice is, and then I can feel free to make the choice I want to, even though I know it.
Very well said. Absolutely.
For better or worse.
Very well said. Mike Baggetta is a member of and created MSSV with Stephen Hodges on drums, Mike Watt on bass. Mike wrote everything, put it all together, and the three of them this is the 47th night of a 48 show tour. And it's rare that I'm blown away by a guitar player. I have to be quite honest. There's lots that I really appreciate what they do, like Peter DiStefano, a friend of mine, like he does some pretty crazy stuff too. And but what I saw from Mike last night, the first time I've seen him play at the show in Costa Mesa at the Wayfarer, absolutely amazing. You have to look for their stuff online. Try to, it's there. You'll be able to find it. They're going to the studio this week to put out another new record. So I highly advise that. And this man applies the wisdom he learns. So how could you not go with that advantage?
Or I choose not to.
Yes, or he makes the human choice not. All right, so that concludes another episode of Wisdom Sucks. Thank you, guys. Right, Spike Mike, Lunatic on the Loose. If you like this content, like and subscribe so you can see more. Thank you.